Twitter tirade, who Donald Trump is going after this time, and how it could potentially affect you and your family. Plus, the story of the American dream shines through in East LA. You'll meet the brothers who started a Oaxacan Lebanese restaurant after years of hard work in the kitchen. And Hope on Skid Row, we'll introduce you to the organization that makes sure that some homeless children don't miss a birthday party.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Rochelle Salas.
And I'm Shannon Osborne.
President Trump was especially active on Twitter this past week. He had Mexico on his mind. He tweeted about DACA being in political limbo. He also tweeted that Democrats are too lax on border control. Just after that tweet, he criticized the NAFTA treaty. Trump thinks Mexico isn't doing enough to stem the flow of people into the U.S. The Trump administration and Mexico are presently negotiating new provisions in the NAFTA treaty.
More than 1,000 Central American immigrants are heading to the U.S. in search of asylum. The caravan is escaping violence, poverty, and political unrest. Pueblos Sin Fronteras, or People Without Borders, organized the caravan to help migrants safely cross Mexico without fear of gangs and cartels. They're also trying to bypass officials who seek to deport them back to the country they came from. President Trump referred to the Migrant Caravan on Twitter as people who are trying to take advantage of DACA. But no one would qualify for DACA since they would have had to arrive in the U.S. as children. They'd also have to have been living in the States continuously since 2007.
As the rise of female empowerment continues, many young women are searching for a bright future. CSUN held a conference for Latina high schoolers around the Los Angeles area. Valley View News reporter Marissa Martinez takes a closer look.
You are all our future, every one of you.
500 Latina high schoolers attended the Adelante Mujer Career Conference at CSUN. For more than 25 years, the conference has given young women opportunities to learn about professional careers. Many organizers are excited to show girls role models they can relate to.
I feel that way they can kind of see themselves one day in their place by presenting them with role models is what we strive to achieve.
Students chose between 14 career workshops led by Latina professionals. Advising sessions for engineering, dentistry, and medicine were filled with eager students. Jezebel Aliman says the conference motivated her to become an engineer or architect.
I'm undocumented and I like that there's an opportunity for me to become someone in life.
Keynote speaker Dr. Alma Lopez talked about difficult issues that students can relate to. She said workshop participants should create, connect, and collaborate with each other. 37% of Californians are Latina. This conference is meant to encourage Latinas to get more education to help achieve their dreams.
To watch them listen so intently and ask so many questions really made me feel honored that they would want to listen to what I have to say, or that they would want to listen to my story and learn from the experiences that I've had in being able to be a journalist.
The country's future depends on a successful Latino community, which is strengthened by successful Latinas. In Northridge, I'm Marissa Martinez for Valley View News.
Adelante Mujer Latina is holding another career conference on April 21st at Pasadena City College.
Two brothers from a small town in Oaxaca came to the U.S. a decade ago in search of a better future. Now they have their own restaurant that opened late last year in East L.A. Valley View News reporter Tomas Rodriguez has the story.
Chicken shawarma a la carte? Yeah. Falafel a la carte? Chorizo a la carte?
Shawarma tacos and chorizo kebab make up just one part of the menu at Ixchalzu Kitchen, an eatery of Oaxacan and Lebanese dishes. Located in Boyle Heights in East LA, Felipe and Ignacio Santiago opened their diner after years of working in Middle Eastern restaurants. This unique combo usually shocks people.
When people come here, they are surprised at the Oaxacan dishes mixed with Lebanese cuisine. It's something people can't believe.
The brothers come from an indigenous Mexican community known as the Zapotecs from the state of Oaxaca. The oldest sibling, Felipe, worked since a boy in construction and other jobs to help financially support the family. Out of necessity, he immigrated to the U.S. as a minor.
It was really, really difficult to leave your family behind. I came here for them as well.
Felipe has always been a father figure to his younger brother. Ignacio followed in his brother's footsteps and joined him in the kitchen years later. Their American dream became a reality after they converted an old taco stand to what is now Ixchalzu, which translates to thank you in Zapotec.
I always dream that one day I will have my own business and work with him. That's where I will repay everything that he did for me.
This restaurant's humble backstory is just one of several success stories of immigrants looking to improve their lives in the U.S. In Boyle Heights, I'm Thomas Rodriguez for Valley View News.
The Baton Rouge Police Department released a video of Alton Sterling's final moments as he was killed by a white police officer 2 years ago. In July of 2016, officers responded to a call about a man with a gun outside a convenience store. Ex-officer Blaine Salamone was fired from the department after the leaked videos. Salamone shot Sterling 6 times. He says he thought Sterling reached for a gun. Officer Howie Lake, who didn't fire his gun, received a 3-day suspension. Both officers were cleared of state and federal charges.
After 2 weeks, protests are continuing in Sacramento. They started after Stefan Clark, an unarmed black 22-year-old, was shot and killed by police officers in his grandmother's backyard on March 18th. They say they thought he had a gun, but it turned out to be a cell phone. Last weekend, a protester was rushed to the hospital after being hit by a Sacramento sheriff's vehicle.
A woman was walking in between the two vehicles, stopped in front of the deputy's vehicle, put up her hand in a stop sign, and the vehicle accelerated very fast and struck her violently, and she fell to the ground, and the deputies then sped off.
The sheriff's department says the car was damaged by the protesters and not by the accident. Demonstrators say they will continue to protest at least until the case goes to court.
Tensions are rising between the U.S. and China.
And Costa Rica elected a new president.
Here's our international reporter, Marissa Martinez, with more.
China fired back in response to President Trump's tariff on steel and aluminum imports. China imposed tariffs up to 25% on 128 U.S. imports. This includes fruits, nuts, and pork meat. The tariffs on both sides don't kick in right away. The administration will listen to public comment for 30 days. For now, neither side is backing down. Costa Rica has a new president. Carlos Alvarado took 60% of the vote in his victory. His opponent, Fabricio Alvarado, who was against same-sex marriage, fell short with just 39%. Both candidates have similar backgrounds in journalism and music. Costa Rica traditionally has very conservative values on matters of marriage and abortion. In Israel, more than 20,000 African asylum seekers are at ease. The government abandoned its plan to deport them to Rwanda. The UN Refugee Agency agreed to work with African asylum seekers wanting to legalize their status in Israel. This is a huge victory for thousands who feared deportation. A massive anti-deportation protest in Israel led the government to change its mind. That's all for international news. I'm Marissa Martinez. Back to you in the studio.
Winnie Mandela died. She was 81. She died at Johannesburg Hospital on Monday of a long-term illness. Mandela was an anti-apartheid campaigner and South Africa's former First Lady. She and her husband Nelson Mandela were a symbol of the country's anti-apartheid struggle for 3 decades. She also kept her husband's memory alive during his more than 27 years in prison.
Still to come, on Valley View News, an aspiring ninja warrior makes his appearance on a hit TV show.
Plus, how an on-campus organization is helping CSUN live a healthy lifestyle through seeds and sunshine.
I came to CSUN to learn. I came to CSUN to grow. I came to CSUN to prepare. I learned to ask, to analyze, to communicate. I grew as a writer, a thinker, a citizen. I left CSUN prepared to participate, prepared to contribute, prepared to lead.
Aloha, I'm Linda Lingle, and I'm a matador.
A Palmdale College student is doing more than studying in his free time. He'll be appearing on the upcoming season of NBC's American Ninja Warrior. Valley View News reporter Amber Patina has more.
Most college students spend their time catching up on sleep, hanging out with friends, or working. But this 22-year-old from Palmdale is more than the average college student. Aside from working and taking classes at Antelope Valley College, Brian Dillard, also known as Little B, spends his time training to become a ninja. His passion and dedication for ninja sports helped him get onto NBC's 10th season of American Ninja Warrior.
I kind of just started wanting to build obstacles and wanting to train for the sport, so it first basically started like that, just finding urban objects to train on.
With the support of his parents, Brian was able to transform their backyard into the ultimate ninja course. The equipment itself is expensive, so Brian needed to get creative and find a way to train on a budget.
I saw it completely grow from then. It was day 1, we were watching the show, and literally like day 10, he was out making obstacle courses in the backyard with wood and like baseballs and softballs, and he did it.
Brian's commitment to his ninja training helped him in more ways than one. He was diagnosed with Tourette's when he was a junior in high school. Tourette's is a nervous disorder that can cause unwanted or repetitive movements or verbal outbursts. His parents say they've noticed how the sport made a positive impact in his Tourette's.
Because he is now using so much energy, and that his neurological parts in the brain that misfire, which causes the Tourette's, it slowly decreases it by the energy that you're putting out. And so it's really helped him physically and mentally. And also, I think, my perspective, given him huge amounts of confidence that he never had before.
Now that Brian has accomplished his main goal, another goal is to open a ninja gym with his girlfriend. That way he can train newcomers and give back the encouragement that he's received from others.
I want to help kids like that, like you're saying, like with special needs and stuff. I want to help even kids that don't have special needs, that just need encouragement of getting out there and doing sports.
Brian will continue to not only make new grips and hanging obstacles to train on, but to possibly train others in the near future. This is Amber Partita in Palmdale, reporting for Valley View News.
The women's NCAA champions are crowned. Here's Andrena Serrano with sports.
Thank you, Rochelle. After another buzzer beater, your new women's NCAA champion is none other than Notre Dame. In an epic comeback after a 15-point deficit, Marina Mayer and Jackie Young tied the game with 3 seconds left on the clock. Arika Gumbawale, who banked the buzzer-beating three-pointer against UConn in the Final Four, sank another buzzer beater, this time to win it all. The Fighting Irish's road to victory was paved by the demise of many great teams, including CSUN's own Matadors. Notre Dame defeated CSUN in the first round 81-99. This is the second NCAA title for the Fighting Irish, the first in 17 years. The Vegas Golden Knights' inaugural season is coming to a close. Though fans have been actively following the team's impressive standings, audiences are gathering and not for the game. Saturday night, the team paid tribute to the victims of the Las Vegas concert mass shooting in October. The Golden Knights retired jersey number 58 in honor of the 58 victims who died. The ice was also lined with a projection of the names of all the victims, along with a banner with 58 stars. This wasn't the first time the team honored the lives lost in the shooting. During the opening game, the team held a 58-second moment of silence. While March Madness is over, baseball has just begun. The season swung into play this past Thursday with a full slate opening day. Last season was a record-breaking year for home runs. A total of 6,105 were hit. So it comes as no surprise that opening weekend was a home run derby. The Astros' George Springer became the first player to hit 2 leadoff home runs in consecutive opening days. The White Sox hit 6 homers to beat Kansas City 14-7. As for the Dodgers, after losing to the Giants on Thursday and Friday, they turned up the heat for Saturday and Sunday's games. Sunday, the Dodgers beat the Giants 9-0. That's it for sports. I'm Andrea Serrano.
Many college students live a fast-paced, studying hard lifestyle, but some sacrifice healthy eating habits in the process. Valley View News reporter Heather Harbin explains how a CSUN program makes a healthy lifestyle easier to achieve.
Gardening. It's not something many college students do, but CSUN's Marilyn Magrum Center makes it its mission to promote a healthy lifestyle through the Wellness Garden. It grows many fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Anyone, whether it be students, faculty, or staff, is free to pick the produce.
People can come in, they can harvest, they can ask the gardeners or students any question, they can actually work in the garden, harvest, and we also have training scheduled.
More than 150 people have been trained in the Wellness Garden. They in turn go on to train others at CSUN and around the San Fernando Valley on how to grow their own healthy foods. So far, at least 15,000 have been reached. Many, like garden manager Kelcey Good, started their own gardens at home.
I feel a lot of comfort knowing that I know what goes into growing my own food that I produce at home and in the garden here, and being able to get connected to the earth in that sense.
A 2018 study by the Journal of Nutrition and Human Health reports college students prefer fast food instead of cooking. About 50% of students in the study reported eating fast food at least 3 times a week. They tended to eat fewer fruits, grains, and vegetables. That's where the Wellness Garden comes in.
There's a lot of research to suggest that when you plant a plant from seed to fruiting, there is a higher chance that you will consume it. Whenever students come in, and we try to make sure that they get a chance to plant so that they will have a higher chance of consuming the produce.
If you'd like to learn more about the Wellness Garden or the Marilyn Magrum Center, you can visit their website or stop by the center in Sequoia Hall. In Northridge, I'm Heather Harbin for Valley View News.
There's a new movie in front at the box office, and a celebrity has opened up about his battle with depression. Here's entertainment reporter Noemi Salcedo.
Thank you, Shannon. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson recently opened up about his battle with depression. He first spoke about his mother's suicide attempt on Instagram. In his post, he told how his mother walked onto oncoming traffic as he watched. As cars swerved around her, Johnson rescued his mother. He was 15 at the time. Also, in an interview with The Express, Johnson says he reached a point where he didn't want to do anything or go anywhere. He says he was crying constantly. The Rock shared the story after shooting a scene for the show Ballers, in which his character visits the grave of a friend who committed suicide. Bill Cosby's retrial is starting jury selection. Cosby's first trial ended in a mistrial after 52 hours of deliberation. He was charged with drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constant. There are a few differences this time around. This time, 5 previous accusers will testify as prosecution witnesses. In the first trial, the judge only let 1 previous accuser testify. The jury is seated in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Cosby faces 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Each count carries a maximum of 10 years in prison. Steven Spielberg had his best film opening in a decade with Ready Player One. The film topped the charts, coming in at $53 million. This was Spielberg's biggest debut since Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in 2008. Tyler Perry's Acrimony pulled in $17 million and came in second.
18 years seem to pass like days. He wouldn't cheat on you, would he?
He's not touching me, so if he's not getting it from me, he's getting it from somewhere. This comes to a surprise to some critics, as it has gotten a 28% Rotten Tomatoes score. However, CinemaScore gave the film an A- rating. Black Panther came in third, pushing the film to a total of $1.2 billion worldwide. And that's all your entertainment news. I'm Noemi Salcedo. Back to you.
Last week, we mentioned that Valley View's Tori Isaac would introduce us to some very special homeless children. Here's her report from a rooftop in Skid Row, where kids can have some unexpected fun on their birthday.
The Worthy of Love organization keeps children first and foremost in their minds. It gives homeless children living on Skid Row something most kids take for granted: a birthday party.
Worthy of Love! Let's get this party started!
Worthy of Love was started 5 years ago. My husband and I, we experienced a miscarriage, and we weren't able to give our child a birthday, so we decided to do it for kids that don't get birthday parties.
Sister Mary and her team of volunteers throw parties the last Thursday of every month. They're held on the rooftop of the Union Rescue Mission in downtown Los Angeles. Erin Thompson shares one of her experiences while volunteering.
A mother came up here. She was escaping a domestic battery situation, and she just started crying because she didn't know what she was going to do for her daughter for her birthday. But we were here to provide her with a party and a gift, and she just was like blown away.
This month's party was Coco themed. It was complete with Day of the Dead decor, glitter tattoos, party favors, 2 birthday cakes, a pony, and even cultural dancers. When the organization first started, there were only about 15 to 20 kids, but as the homeless population grew, there were more families with children. Matt Bennett, the youth coordinator at the shelter, says the village had to grow as well.
And so now we have amazing volunteers, different vendors coming. We have over 100 kids here staying right now. Some of these kids have never had their own birthday parties. So for them to, despite the homeless situation, for them to still be smiling, dancing, jujuing and all that, it's priceless. Couldn't trade it for the world.
In Los Angeles, I'm Tori Isaac for Valley View News.
The next party is April 26th. If you're interested in volunteering or donating, you can visit worthyoflove.net.
Still ahead, CSUN hosted a major conference in San Diego showcasing the latest in assistive technology.
And look closely at your morning cup of coffee, the new warning that will be added soon. Stay with us.
I found them at work, on a desk, laying out in the open. Copied them, shared them on a website. Now I'm facing up to 3 years in jail. It's scary. Who knows where it's going? I mean, who's gonna hire me? Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I came to CSUN to learn. I came to CSUN to grow. I came to CSUN to prepare. I learned to question, to answer, to encourage. I grew as a mentor, an ally, an advocate. I left CSUN prepared to uplift and embolden, prepared to challenge and inspire, prepared to teach.
I'm Rebecca Milwaukee, and I'm a Matador.
You made this vacation happen, cleverly merging promotions,
double points with every purchase,
and cross-referencing travel sites. Aloha! If you can ace your vacation, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
No Kill LA continues to be a successful program in Los Angeles. LA Animal Services said there's a 90% save rate for shelter animals. Animal Services General Manager Brenda Barnett says they're pushing for even more adoptions from shelters because of overcrowding. Overcrowding led to the East Valley Animal Shelter to start putting 2 dogs to a cage last week. So far, officials say the best way to adopt is to go to a shelter. All 6 LA animal shelters offers microchipping and licensing services for pets after an adoption is final.
CSUN had its annual tech conference.
And there's an update on how coffee affects your health.
Here's Valley View's social media tech and health reporter Lauren Turner-Dunn.
Thanks, Shannon. CSUN's 33rd Annual Assistive Tech Conference saw many exhibitors sharing new technology devices. I traveled to San Diego for the conference, which is run by CSUN Center on Disabilities. CSUN held its 33rd Assistive Technology Conference in San Diego. Ryland Vroom, who is blind, went to the conference for the first time.
It's always cool to see what's being released, what's coming out, what are the new products that the vendors are going to be releasing over a year. And all of that is unveiled in CSUN.
To some of the 5,000 attendees, the conference is known as just CSUN, and it's not just for people with disabilities. Heather Jin was there promoting customer accessibility services at her company, Medallia.
Accessibility is a super important part of our product because then we can make sure that we are getting the right sample. We're getting an inclusive and diverse set of data from our customers.
The conference was from March 19th to the 23rd. Video cameras weren't allowed inside sessions because they wanted to keep it private for those who paid a fee.
The people who show up here are the people who can afford to throw down several $1,000s to come in from another place, or people who it's thought should be here and are financed by companies.
This internationally known conference seeks to remove barriers to full participation for people with disabilities.
They're just a little bit more aggravating for them, and it's a little bit bigger of a problem for them, but they're really the same problems that we face too. So I think seeing the problems through their lens makes it just as more impactful.
I am capable of doing absolutely everything you can do, and in some cases better.
Next year, the conference will be held in Anaheim, a little closer to campus and maybe more accessible to the CSUN community. A few weeks ago, Valley View's Marissa Martinez reported suspected dangers of coffee drinking. Now, companies selling coffee in California must add cancer warning labels to their coffee cups. Coffee is known as a carcinogen containing a chemical called acrylamide. That substance is found in higher levels in coffee than the law permits. Just last week, a judge ruled that most major coffee companies are violating the law. He said they must disclose the toxic substances contained in coffee. The law came about after Prop 65 passed, requiring businesses with more than 10 employees to disclose any carcinogens and toxic chemicals in their products. A Colorado cancer survivor is reunited with his dog after a carjacking separated them. Darren Shook thought he would never see his pit bull Mia ever again. She was in this car when it was stolen 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it's like, what a miracle. Get her back. I feel whole.
Thanks to Shook's Facebook post about the lost dog and a Good Samaritan, his wish came true.
Just doing what had to be done. I'm glad we all won. We all win today.
Shook says he's thankful for all the help and support. That's it for Social Media, Health, and Tech. I'm Lauren Turner-Dunn.
The nation recognized the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 50 years later, MLK's legacy is an inspiration for many young people. That includes his granddaughter, Yolanda Renee King, who was at the March for Our Lives protest. Other young people commemorating the anniversary, including students at King's alma mater, Morehouse University in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's all for us at Valley View News. Thank you for watching. I'm Shannon Osborne.
And I'm Rochelle Salas. For news any time of day, go to our website, sundial.csun.edu. See you next week.